नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये। नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवति उत्तम श्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्ठिकी। So continuing with the discussion on Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 20, Conversation between Maitreya and Vidura, text number 18. Sasarja chayaya vidyam pancha parvanam agrataha tamisram and tamisram tamo moho mahatamaha. First of all, Brahma created from his shadow the coverings of ignorance of the conditioned souls. They are 5 in number and are called Tamisra, Andhatamisra, Tamas, Moha, and Mahamoha. There are 5 kinds of ignorance also. The conditioned souls or living entities who come to the material world to enjoy sense gratification are covered in the beginning by 5 different conditions. The first condition is a covering of Tamisra or anger. Constitutionally, each and every living entity has minute independence. It is misuse of that minute independence for the conditioned soul to think that he can also enjoy like the Supreme Lord, or to think, why shall I not be a free enjoyer like the Supreme Lord? This forgetfulness of his constitutional position is due to anger or envy. The living entity, being eternally a part and parcel servitor of the Supreme Lord, can never, by constitution, be an equal enjoyer with the Lord. When he forgets this, however, and tries to be one with him, his condition is called Tamisra. Even in the field of spiritual realization, this Tamisra mentality of the living entity is hard to overcome. In trying to get out of the entanglement of material life, there are many who want to be one with the Supreme. Even in their transcendental activities, this lower grade mentality of Tamisra continues. So Tamisra is the first covering, and which is made of Tamisra or anger. Prabhupada says it's anger or envy also. So anger or envy is for the living entity to think, why can't I enjoy just like Krishna does? I want to be an equal enjoyer with the Lord. But he cannot be. And that's what Prabhupada said. When he forgets this, however, and tries to be one with him, his condition is called Tamisra. So he is in ignorance. So second one, Andhatamisra, involves considering death to be the ultimate end. The atheists generally think that the body is the self and that everything is therefore ended with the end of the body. Thus, they want to enjoy material life as far as possible during the existence of the body. Their theory is, as long as you live, you should live prosperously. Never mind whether you commit all kinds of so-called sins. You must eat sumptuously, beg, borrow, and steal, and if you think that by stealing and borrowing, you are being entangled in sinful activities for which you will have to pay, then just forget that misconception, because after death, everything is finished. No one is responsible for anything he does during his life. So this is the atheistic conception. They don't think there's anybody who's going to judge us for whatever we have done or whatever we are doing. So their philosophy is simple. Eat, drink, and be merry. Beg, borrow, steal, and just enjoy. That's it. There's nothing after this life. So just enjoy. As the whichever way you want to enjoy. Atheistic. This atheistic conception of life is killing human civilization, for it is without knowledge of the continuation of eternal life. And that continuation of eternal life, next life, we have to pay for whatever we have done in this life. This antatamishra ignorance is due to tamas or ignorance. The condition of not knowing anything about the spirit soul is called tamas. The condition of not knowing anything about the spirit soul is called tamas. And so many people are covered by this kind of ignorance. Even in India, they might say, oh, I have this knowledge, I have that knowledge, but they generally don't believe in that there is life after this life and where we have to come back and pay for it. This material world is also generally called tamas because 99% of its living entities are ignorant of their identity as soul. Almost everyone is thinking that he is this body. He has no information of the spirit soul. Guided by this misconception, one always thinks, this is my body, and anything in relationship with this body is mine. For such misguided living entities, sex life is a background of material existence. Actually, the conditioned souls, in ignorance in this material world, are simply guided by sex life. And as soon as they get the opportunity for sex life, they become attached to so-called home, motherland, children, wealth, and opulence. As these attachments increase, moha, or illusion of the worldly concept of life, also increases. See how all the ignorance, all the different layers of ignorance are intertwined, connected with each other. So first one was Tamisra, where one is envious. He wants to enjoy separately from the Lord. He thinks, I'm as good as Lord. Why can't I enjoy just like him? Then the second, Tamisra, or Antatamisra is Tamas, or thinking there is this body only, enjoy, and that's it. So the idea is to enjoy separately from the Lord. And then he gets into moha. Moha means, how am I going to enjoy? If I have this family, if I have children, wife, wealth, opulence, motherland, and this and that. And this is basically the extensions of the body or relationship with the body. Thus, the idea that I am this body and everything belonging to this body is mine also increases. And as the whole world is put into moha, sectarian societies, families, and nationalities are created, and they fight with one another. Mahamoha means to be mad after material enjoyment. Especially in this age of Kali, everyone is overwhelmed by the madness to accumulate paraphernalia for material enjoyment. But this is madness. First was moha, illusion, and then he becomes mahamoha, madness. I want to have this, I want to have that, I want to enjoy this, I want to enjoy this with my wife, and this my children, this with my society, this with my community. But where are you going with all this? Who cares? Who knows? So much of fighting going on all over the world. Just to save my community and save my society, and what will happen after you die? Oh, you might be, if Muslim is thinking, if I save my community from Hindus, and it will be very good, and there will be this and that. What if you're born a Hindu next life? Then what? And the Hindus are thinking we can save our country. Of course, within the purview of law, it should be done. I'm not saying no. But what if we are born Muslim in the next life? Is there any Hindu thinking like that? Any Muslim thinking like that? Because nobody even is thinking about next life. Okay, so there were 5 coverings. What happened to... So Tamisra, Antatamisra, and okay, then Tamas and Moha and Mahamoha. Okay. Visasarjatmana kayam navinandahan Andanastamommayam Jagruhur Yaksha Rakshansi Ratrim Kshutrit Samudbhavam. Out of disgust, Brahma threw off the body of ignorance. And taking this opportunity, Yakshas and Rakshasas sprang for the possession of the body, which continued to exist in the form of night. Night is the source of hunger and thirst. So, out of disgust, because Brahmaji didn't like that body of ignorance, but he had to do the creation as a service to Krishna. So he threw off the body, means he threw off that consciousness. He just got rid of that consciousness. But Yakshas and Rakshasas, Yaksha and Rakshas, they ran for that body because this is what they are in ignorance. So they wanted that, and which continued to exist in the form of night. So the Yaksha and Rakshas, they get very busy during the night because that is their time. So anytime we see late night parties or late night activities, well, now the whole world is working at night. In fact, the all the IT people who are in the outsourcing business. But what is that? That is completely in ignorance. Of course, we are thinking I'm making money, and what is wrong with making money? Money can be made in the daytime also. If we work too much at night, it just messes up the whole body cycle, and the health deteriorates. So that is why Krishna has created daytime, nighttime, and there is a particular time for rest and particular time for work. So we should try to follow. Bhayam upsrishtaste tam jagdhum abhidudruvaha ma rakshatenam jakshadvam iti uchuhu kshutrid arditaha. Overpowered by hunger and thirst, they ran to devour Brahma from all sides and cried, "Spare him not, eat him up." The representatives of the Yaksha and Rakshas still exist in some countries of the world. It is understood that such uncivilized men take pleasure in killing their own grandfathers and holding a love feast by roasting the bodies of their grandfathers. And there, Prabhupada said there are still some people like that, especially in Africa. But now, even in China and other Eastern countries, they sometimes eat the flesh of uh, unborn babies who die in the womb. Then they like to eat that flesh. There are all kinds of nasty people all over, and they all come in the category of Yaksha and Rakshasas, completely in ignorance. Devastana samvigno mam jakshat rakshata ahome yaksha rakshansi praja yuyam babhuvita. Brahma, the head of the demigods, full of anxiety, asked him, "Do not eat me, but protect me. You are born from me and have become my sons. Therefore you are yakshas and rakshasas." So they wanted to eat a Brahmaji also. The demons who were born from the body of Brahma were called Yaksha and Rakshas because some of them cried that Brahma should be eaten, and the others cried that he should not be protected. The ones who said that he should be eaten were called Yakshas, and the ones who said that he should not be protected or became Rakshasa, man-eaters. The two, Yaksha and Rakshas, are the original creation by Brahma and are represented even until today in the uncivilized men who are scattered all over the universe. They're born of the mode of ignorance, and therefore, because of their behavior, they're called Rakshas or man-eaters. There are many all over the world. But this is the creation Brahmaji had to do as a service. Devtaha prabhaya yaya divyan brahmakuto asrajat te aharshur devyanto visrishtam tam prabham aha. He then created the chief demigods who were shining with the glory of goodness. He dropped before them the effulgent form of daytime, and the demigods sportingly took possession of it. Demons were born from the creation of night, and the demigods were born from the creation of day. In other words, demons like the Yaksha and Rakshas are born of the quality of ignorance, and demigods are born of the quality of goodness. Devo deva jagnatah srijati smati lolupan taenam lolupatya mathunaya vipedire. Lord Brahma then gave birth to the demons from his buttocks, and they were very fond of sex. Because they were too lustful, they approached him for copulation. Sex life is the background of material existence. Here also it is repeated that the demons are very fond of sex life. The more one is free from the desires of sex, the more he is promoted to the level of the demigods. The more one is inclined to enjoy sex, the more he is degraded to the level of demonic life. So there's a difference between demons and Rakshas. They're two different. Rakshasa or Yaksha are in the mode of ignorance. Demons are in the mode of passion. That's what Prabhupada says. In the Shlok also it says, they're very fond of sex life. Sex life means passion. So we have to make sure that we know the difference between Asura and Rakshas. Tato hasan sa bhagwan surer nirpatrapeh anviya manas tarasa kruddho bhita parapatat. The worshipful Brahma first laughed at the stupidity, but finding the shameless Asuras close upon him, he grew indignant and ran in great haste out of fear. Sexually inclined demons have no respect even for their father, and the best policy for a saintly father like Brahma is to leave such demoniac sons. He basically ran in haste out of fear. Sapuvrijya Varadam Prapannarti Haram Harim Anugrihaya Bhaktanam Anurupatma Darshanam. He approached the personality of Godhead who bestows all boons and who dispels the agony of his devotees and of those who take shelter of his lotus feet. He manifests his innumerable transcendental forms for the satisfaction of his devotees. Here the word Bhaktanam Anurupa Atma Darshanam means that the personality of Godhead manifests as multi-forms according to the desires of the devotees. For example, Hanumanji, Vajrangji wanted to see the form of the Lord as the personality of Godhead, Ramchandra, whereas the other Vaishnavas want to see the form of Radha Krishna. And still other devotees want to see the Lord in the form of Lakshmi Narayan. The Mayavadi philosophers think that although all these forms are assumed by the Lord, just as the devotees desires to see him, actually he is impersonal. This is what Mayavadis think. But no, he can have ananta forms, unlimited forms as a devotee wants him. Advaitam Achyutam Anandam Anantaru. That's what Krishna is. It's not that devotee might find or might want him in some weird form. No. But just like I explained once earlier, if a devotee of Radha Parsarthi wants to see Krishna, Radharani as Radha Parsarthi, and the other devotee wants to see him as Radha Shamsundar, the other wants to see him as Radha Madhav, Krishna will appear to him in all those forms, even in Golok Vrindavan. Why not? It is said in Brahma Samhita, Advaitam Achyutam, the Lord does not appear before the devotee because of the devotee's imagination. Brahma Samhita further explains that the Lord has innumerable forms. Ramadi Murti Shakalaniyamena Tishtan. He exists in millions and millions of forms. There are 8,400,000 species of living entities, but the incarnations of the Supreme Lord are innumerable. In the Bhagavatam, it is stated that as the waves in the sea cannot be counted but appear and disappear continually, the incarnations and forms of the Lord are innumerable. A devotee is attached to a particular form, and it is that form which he worships. We have just described the first appearance of the boar within the universe. There are innumerable universes, and somewhere or other the boar form is now existing. All the forms of the Lord are eternal. It is the devotee's inclination to worship a particular form, and he engages in devotional service to that form. In a verse in the Ramayana, Hanuman, the great devotee of Ram, said, I know that there is no difference between Sita, Ram, and Lakshmi Narayan forms of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. But nevertheless, the form of Ram and Sita has absorbed my affection and love. Therefore, I want to see the Lord in the forms of Ram and Sita. Similarly, the Gaudiya Vaishnavas love the forms of Radha and Krishna and Rukmini at Dwarka. The words Bhakta Nam Anurupatam Darshanam means that the Lord is always pleased to favor the devotee in the particular form in which the devotee wants to worship and render service unto him. In this verse, it is stated that Brahma approached Hari, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This form of the Lord is Kshirodaksha Vishnu. Whenever there is some trouble and Brahma has to approach the Lord, he can approach Kshirodaksha Vishnu. And it is the grace of the Lord that whenever Brahma approaches him about disturbances in the universe, the Lord gives him relief in so many ways. So there are many things that we can take from this purport. First is the form of the Lord. So Lord can have unlimited forms. Even Radha Krishna can have unlimited Radha Krishna forms. To please their devotees, to have relationship with the devotees. And the second thing is Brahmaji approached Kshirodaksha Vishnu at Kshirodaksha Sagar. Brahmaji could have sat on his lotus flower, the one he was born on, in Satyaloka. He could have meditated on Kshirodaksha Vishnu. But rather, he went to Kshirodaksha Vishnu. Why? The reason being, suppose if there is a minister or a great officer and we have to get the work done, there is one way is to write a message, write an email to him, or write a letter to him, or call him, or go to his office. When we go to his office, chances are, he will give us time and get the work done faster than if I just write an email or send a message or call him. Because going to see him personally, it has some personal relationship, personal feeling. Then the work gets done faster. Sending an email is still, it's a little impersonal. So similarly, the Lord likes it when a devotee comes to him. It's not like Lord is some kind of, he loves putting devotees in trouble, so they come to him. No, he just likes it when there is some trouble, devotee comes to him, and the Lord likes that devotee thinks I am his. There is a relationship. So similarly, it's an instruction for us. We always have one or the other trouble. So there is a chance that there is an opportunity we can sit at home and just meditate and pray to the Lord. But there is also an opportunity for us to go to the temple and seek the blessings of the Lord, seek the mercy of the Lord. Going to temple means we are developing a relationship with that deity, with that Lord. We can have temple at home also. There's nothing wrong with that. Then our point is we should approach the deity in our temple, even at home. Pray to him. Tell him our problems. He knows our problems. He's omniscient. He knows. But he wants to see our prayers, our love, our relationship. Then and they thinking that I am his and he is mine. That kind of relationship should be there. He will take care of the problems of the devotees anyway. But when we approach him, he likes it. And this develops our love for him and his love for us. So approaching the deity is very, very important for us. We can sit and chant, no doubt. But why not chant in front of the deities, in front of the Lord? If they don't have deities at home, just go to the temple and have the relationship. That is important. So anyway, we'll stop here. See anybody has any questions or comments. So I guess we can stop here. You all have a wonderful day. Hare Krishna. Jai Srila Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna. Thank you,
Hare
Prabhuji.
Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you so much.
Thank you
Jai
so